Hello. If you're heading out to see the Pittsburgh Pirates next weekend, it's Mental Health Action Day at PNC Park. We'll tell you how you can go to the game and make a difference. And the creator of the Barrel and Flow Fest just got back from taking the Barrels International. We'll hear about his trip and what's planned for this year's Pittsburgh Festival. Plus, a local organization works with youth to help them stay on the right path. They'll tell us about the Way organization. So pull up a chair and meet us at the corner. Intersection starts right now. Hello, I'm Lisa Smith, the Director of Community Impact at KDKA Plus and the host of Intersections. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and the Pittsburgh Pirates are throwing the first pitch of the month with Mental Health Action Day at PNC Park. Fans at the park will get a baseball game and much more. The extra is all about mental health awareness. And here to share more are Jackie Stevenson. She is the Executive Director of Pittsburgh Pirates Charities and Community Engagement, and also the Pirates in-game host, Joe Klimchak. Thanks so much, both of you, for being with us today.
Great to be here.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, Jackie, tell us first of all, I think this is maybe the fourth year that you guys have done this. How did this get started?
Yeah, of course. So our chairman, Bob Nutting, has a long history of supporting different mental health awareness themed programming. Back in the day, it was more stop bullying type of programming. And over the years, it's evolved to focus more around behavioral health and mental health. Coming out of COVID, there truly is a crisis still here in our community around youth mental health. And so we as the Pirates have really seen our role around reducing the stigma around mental health and making that conversation and the topic of mental health more approachable, especially for kids. So the game really is about that message. It's about making sure that the fans in attendance that night know that we, the Pirates, want you to know it's okay to not be okay. And it's about celebrating the mental health heroes here in our community.
Yeah. So what will people see, I guess, as they're arriving at the park?
Well, of course, they'll see Joe, everybody's favorite in-game host. But that game is all about celebrating our program that we have with AHN called Chill Mobile. It's a mobile mental health unit that has been around for going on 3 school years now, and we've delivered mental health resources to almost 20,000 students once we conclude this academic year, and over 1,000 educators. And really what it's doing is it's just helping to broach the topic of mental health education in schools that either can't afford those resources on their own or just can't keep up with the need that's in their school on their own. And Joe does a great job. We go into schools, we kick off the program with a really fun assembly to make the topics approachable and something that the kids are then excited about. And then over the course of 3 different weeks throughout the school year, students are taken into our mobile RV that looks like a baseball, where they go through different curriculum with educators from Allegheny Health Network, and really just given basic skills on how to cope, how to deal with those emotions that crop up in all of our classrooms today.
Yeah. And then Joe, so you're going out there. What's the reaction from the kids when, you show up and the pierogies are there?
Yeah.
And, what's their reaction?
They really do love it. As Jackie said, this is year 3. I think we've been to a couple dozen schools now, and essentially it makes mental health less scary, right? This is a subject that you could be like, if it was presented by maybe just school administrators, you'd be like, okay, listening to it. But when you bring in the pierogies and the parrot, and Jack and her team do such a great job bringing in fun signage and colorful, sometimes music, we play games, sometimes a player. It really makes it so approachable and caring and nurturing, and the kids feel safe there. And it's like, wow, okay, it's okay to share how I'm feeling, whether it's just anxiety about a test or something more serious, goes all the way to like self-harm and having suicidal thoughts. So whatever it is, we're there for them. We have chill corners in classrooms. We have chill rooms in these schools. But that assembly kind of kicks off the week for them. As Jackie said, we have this big baseball on wheels. That's a retrofitted RV that's another calming space, but it's just an incredible program. I'm thrilled to be part of it.
Yeah, and I saw some of the images from inside. So so it's like different lighting and things like that. So what's actually happening inside? Right.
Well, have you been in before?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they run movies in them, videos, calming spaces, share coping skills, play games. I mean, they change it every year too, which is great. We've been to one school twice, in fact, Bellevue Elementary, which is in my neighborhood. Miss Maria, Mr. Ish, Mr. Talbert, they do such a great job. I actually just spoke with Miss Maria recently, and she says just the kids love it. They talk about when can the Pirates come back. They're using these spaces, but and they're stepping in these spaces on their own without, without having to be like, hey, are you okay? They're doing this because they know it's a safe space, and they're just choosing, like, I can feel better and perform better in school if I do that and let my emotions just let them out there.
Yeah.
Have a trusting, caring person to listen to me. I can share anytime.
Right. And Jackie, I would guess, because it's the Pirates, the kids look up to, the athletes and things like that. And you mentioned sometimes athletes go.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about, that opportunity for some athletes to take part in this.
Yeah, so our reliever, our closer, I should say, David Bednar, who's from the Pittsburgh area, he's been a really important part of the program since we launched, and he has a really pressure-filled job on the team. And so he's really able to speak authentically to what that pressure feels like and what it's like to be in a stressful situation, and explain to the kids that it's normal to feel that way and it's normal to have those thoughts, but he shares with them some of the ways that he copes with that pressure and that anxiety or that stress that he might feel before he takes the mound. And I think, I can't speak for the kids, but it seems like that is really relatable for them, and it lets them know, okay, if a professional athlete who plays for the Pirates has these same feelings that I sometimes feel, then it must be okay to feel that way.
Right. And then I know, so later in the month, there's also a walk.
Yeah.
Where families come together. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, of course. So this is our 4th annual family walk benefiting Pirates Charities and AHN mental health programming, one of which is our Chill Mobile program. Joe's there for that as well. We take Joe everywhere with us, it sounds like. But it's a great day at the ballpark. Last year we had over 1,000 people join us for a really casual walk around the ballpark that ends on home plate. So you get some time on the field with your family, and then we host a little carnival after the walk, really just to share it in the goodwill that the community has around building a better mental health for our entire community. We give the platform to a lot of local nonprofits to come interact with our fans and our attendees, share their resources, and if somebody's in search of different mental health needs, they might be able to find it there. But it really is just a fun day to enjoy the ballpark, enjoy the sunshine, hopefully, and enjoy each other.
Yeah. We're going to put some information up on the screen.
Perfect.
So the game is May 2nd.
Yes.
Is that right? And
Yes.
it's against the Padres.
Yeah.
And then the other the walk is on May 24th.
Correct.
So,
Yep.
and then there's information on your website, I guess, where people can learn more about
Yep.
how to participate.
Yep, if you go to pirates.com, you'll be able to find information on both the game and the walk. And we invite everybody to come join us for both.
Awesome. Well, thank you both for being with us today. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, Lisa.
All right. And we also want to mention that if you or someone you know is struggling or needs mental health help, you can call or text the National Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, and that number is 988. Well, coming up, from Barrel and Flow to Barrel and Barcelona intersections. We'll be right back. Twice named the best beer festival in the country by USA Today, Barrel and Flow Fest went international this spring. A group of Black-owned breweries attended the Barcelona Beer Fest and brought some attention to the Still City just ahead of this year's Barrel and Flow. Joining me is Dave Bracey. He is the founder of Barrel and Flow. Thank you so much for being with us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Yeah. So obviously, you know, the festival started like what, 8 years ago?
Yeah, 2018.
Yeah. So what did you think at the time was going to be the evolution of it?
To be honest, it was a stopgap. So as a comedian, people don't like to attend comedy shows in the summertime because the sun's out.
Yeah.
So, you know, we had been working in the industry for some years directly with the brewing industry and saw a big boon to our careers as a result. So we wanted to share those opportunities with other folks. Since the summertime was slow for us, we figured we'd choose that time to start the festival, thinking not much would come of it. And then it took over my life.
Yeah. Yeah. And so you get this call about attending an international festival in Barcelona. What kind of went through your mind, when you got the call, and what was the goal of them wanting you guys to come to Barcelona?
So when I got a call, it was a couple of years ago after Barrel and Flow, Barcelona called and said that they heard all the great things that we were doing in Pittsburgh, and they wanted us to come out and kind of teach them how we diversified the industry. At first, I thought it was a scam. I thought they wanted my social security number. But then I got on a Zoom and with Juan, one of the organizers, and he goes, how do you say, and I was like, oh, like you're like a real Spaniard, you know what I mean? So we got to talking and whatnot, and the purpose of it was to learn globally and apply locally. So they look to the American industry for various trends that are coming in the future and whatnot. So oftentimes they'll have people come out and kind of talk about the state of the industry and what to expect. And since we are the best brew festival in America and probably the world, they did want to come out and say, hey, how did you get to this point? Especially since we don't look like what the typical brewer looks like. So in order to be successful and look like us, probably know a little something. And we could also learn from them by their cultures, their foods, and the ways that they congregate as well. So, really learning globally and applying locally.
Yeah. So, how long were you there, and what was it like?
So I was there in Europe for about 2 weeks. What it was like, I will say, please eat the calamari when you get there. I don't know why nobody told me about this when I went to Spain, but it's a completely different animal. Like, it's like rubbery over here, but there it's like a mix between, say, chicken and like mussels. The texture, it'll change your life. But the food was amazing, the weather was amazing, one of the most beautiful places in the world, very old, very ancient structures and whatnot. You see, just like pieces of pillars and various things that are like left over from, millennia ago that are around and whatnot. They're very proud people. And so many forms of transportation, the bus, the railways, the subways and whatnot, bikes and things of that nature. So it was a great experience, and it was also really great to talk to the people and see how they view and admire Black culture here in America, because you see hip hop everywhere. You see it, you hear it on the radios, it's at the clubs, in their style, in their vernacular. There's a lot of borrowed terms, but there's not a lot of us there. So, being able to interact with people and get how they viewed Black America was also very eye-opening.
Yeah. So was there anything that you feel like you brought back or are bringing back from that trip? There were over 30 countries represented there, and there was a shared sense of, a need to kind of band together and, not so much be heavily capitalistic. But to look towards your neighbors, look towards people, and it's more people over profits, seemed to be the tying theme, because craft is an economic term, and everyone there sort of understood that by being in craft, we were supporting local, and that's what we do at Barrel and Flow, and that's really what that festival was not so much about the money side of it, but how do we support small local business, whether it's here or there. Yeah. So we have a couple minutes left, and I want to make sure, obviously, that we talk about Barrel and Flow this year. So this year, as we said, 8th year, what will people see different or new this year?
Well, first and foremost, I'm producing an album. It's called a collab album. We're going to press it onto 500 vinyls. We have 10 acts from around the city that'll be present on that. And you can only get it on the vinyl. There will be no digital echoes whatsoever. We'll sell it at Barrel and Flow 5 2025 for $25. So if you're interested in music, if you're interested in art, if you've got a record player, feel free to grab that up. We also have Barrel and Float. So for the first year, we will be extending the programming to Thursday. We'll be on the Gateway Clipper Fleet. It is an open bar curated by Barrel and Flow, featuring DJ Big Phil and Nashville, which is a local band as well. And then, again, we'll have the 3 days of conferencing, the bottle share, the festival, the after party, and the brunch. as well as a whole week of events being produced by outside producers and venues. Because if you're coming to Pittsburgh just for Barrel and Flow, you'll eventually stop coming to Pittsburgh. But if you're coming to Pittsburgh because Pittsburgh's a cool place, then you'll keep coming to Barrel and Flow. So people come in as early as Sunday and Monday of that week. So we have events that'll be planned throughout the entire week, culminating in the event on Saturday.
Yeah. Where do you see Barrel and Flow going?
Across the world. So, Barrel and Flow is a movement. It is a way in which we do support local businesses, in which we celebrate Black culture and people, and plug them into the supply chain. So, it's economic empowerment of the Black community, and that is needed worldwide. The more I travel, the more people say, hey, we need this here. So we will always be here in Pittsburgh the second weekend in August, which is the birth of hip hop. But we will be expanding to other cities and other countries to bring that movement and message to them.
Wow, and there's the image, the save the date on your screen right there, August 9th, but it goes through the whole week.
It's a whole week. It'll probably
point.
be another declaration of some sort.
Maybe 2 weeks by next year. Thank you so much for coming, Dave. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Well, coming up, a local organization is inspiring and coaching young boys and showing them the way. Intersections. We'll be right back. Helping young boys stay on the right path and out of the path of violence. That's the goal of our guests today, who work with local organizations specifically geared toward pouring into the lives of young Black males. Joining us today are Kevin Alton, founder of The Way organization, also Martell Hedge, the founder of Daddy's Hands, and we also have joining us Kevin Jordan with Youth Driven Charities. Welcome all of you to Intersections.
Thanks for having us. Thanks for having us.
So, Kevin, I'm going to start with you. You're with the Way organization, but
Yes.
You guys, all of your groups work together.
Right.
How did this all start? Because I know you have a story around how this started for you.
Yeah. So the Way organization came about was I was saying the Way for a very long time, and it really came to fruition. This was never meant to be an actual thing. But, through different trials and tribulations in my life and passing on my younger brother at a young age, it put me in a mental state where I really couldn't cope with things for a while, for a long term. And I got with some good people and got myself back on track. My wife helped me out a lot, which was my girlfriend at the time. And I started an organization. And it's been growing ever since. I worked in Bashir High School for 13 years, mentoring young Black males. I started a football organization on the South Side called the Southside Bears. Me and Martell and Kevin coach it. Vaughn Madden's vice president of Shed Student Athletes. And we're actually going to our 15th year right now.
Wow.
So we are probably one of the longest running youth football organizations on the South Side. That's been going on, and we've been mentoring young Black males from the age of 4 to 40.
Yeah.
And that's how it really all got started.
Yeah. And Martell, I know recently at City Council, they were talking about, your groups and recognizing your groups for the work that you do.
Yes.
What was it about this that made you start Daddy's Hands?
It was all about just celebrating fathers and strengthening relationships between fathers and their kids, and also just having fun. And when you strengthen them relationships, then the community also strengthens itself.
Yeah. And then Kevin Jordan, tell us a little bit about Youth Driven Charities.
Well, Youth Driven Charities it started as an idea. A friend of mine, Jason, came up with the idea because he wanted to do something with 3 initials from I don't know if I should say this, but it was kind of like out of our negative days. So he wanted to change our negative ways with those 3 initials into a positive way. And that's the same thing I wanted to do with Youth Driven Charity. He's in Elmira, New York.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I'm here, but we from the same neighborhood. So I just took his idea and brought it here.
Yeah. So I know you guys, you use sports, mentoring. What do you get out of it? Because sometimes you pour things into these young kids, but really you're getting something out of it too. Kevin?
Man, it's just basically the feeling that I helped a person or I helped a young child take that step into manhood and not have to go through the same trials and tribulations that I had to go through. Or sometimes I didn't even have to go through them. It's just I chose to. It was just the wrong influences and things of that nature. We didn't really have too many positive role models growing up. So basically it was me following my friends, and we're learning off of one another.
Yeah.
So if I'm able to steer these young men into the right direction and cut out all the other stuff, they'll be way further ahead of where I'm at now. I'm just getting started. If you can start 20 years before me, you'll be light years ahead of me. And that goes for all the young men I serve, even my own son. So
you guys are the role models in a sense that you maybe wish you had?
Well, I kind of model myself after some of our role models.
Okay.
Some of our role models were our friends' dads and coaches. We played football together when we was all young. And there was a couple guys, Coach Dean and Coach Dan, that kind of was like father figures to us. And then it's like a cycle, because we did the same thing that they did. And like now we got kids that's grown, that have kids, and they coach for us. So it's like people that I coached 15 years ago, they coach for us for the Southside Bears, and then their kids play for the Southside Bears also.
Yeah.
So it's like a full circle.
Yeah, it's generational.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I just want to say congratulations to you all for what you're doing in the community, and let's stay in touch. Let us know what's going on so that we can let everybody know.
sure will, thank
All
you.
right, thank you. And I'll have my last word when we come back. Involvement. I think when we think about involvement, we think about it in terms of being optional. It's a choice to be involved with groups or initiatives or not. But there can be times when involvement isn't optional because it's personal, like teaching kids that they aren't alone and they're part of a sports team or a life team. We do choose our levels of involvement, and at the higher levels, it becomes a commitment. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Intersections.